three words, I would call it brutal, intimate, and cruel. I was like, what?
2020 Friday night on ABC.
Right now on News Channel 6 and 7, after a third South Carolina state trooper hit by a vehicle, law enforcement is asking drivers to follow the move over law. We'll have the details. Also ahead, South Carolina state prosecutors have linked someone to the 911 call that led to a large police response on the USC Columbia campus. The latest on the investigation. And the city of Aiken says no to the tiny home project, why council members were divided on the project. As your news at 7 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 7.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dee Griffin. Thanks so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins as the FBI and Columbia County deputies raided a Westlake home this morning. The raid into News Channel 6 for more on this developing story. Also in Richmond County, 2 people are in jail after deputies seized more than 5 pounds of fentanyl. Tyreek McFadden is accused of running the operation. He and Nigel Lessie are charged with trafficking. Deputies made the arrest after a year-long investigation, they say. Now, at a home on Redoubt Circle off Glen Hills Drive, the sheriff says they seized enough fentanyl to endanger every man, child, and woman in the county many times over. Cocaine, heroin, marijuana, money, firearms, and pills were also found. Well, 3 South Carolina troopers hit in just over a month, 2 of them in a matter of days. Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cavendish has more on what's happening and what drivers need to know to stay safe.
Troopers say the job is always risky. Every stop or call puts them feet from speeding cars.
Because you have, on average, 3,000 to 3,500 pound vehicle traveling a high rate of speed.
In August, Trooper Dennis Ricks was killed. Troopers Mitchell Williams Jr. and Wayne Labonte were both struck while working. Mitchell knows the pain firsthand after being hit by a tractor trailer years ago.
Thankfully, I was not severely injured, and I got to go home to my wife that same night. But it's something that's affected my life, and it's affected many troopers over the years, and law enforcement officers, and emergency personnel.
South Carolina's move over law has been in place since 1996. Drivers must move over or slow down for flashing lights. Law enforcement, first responders, utility crews.
Obviously, we could write a warning, but we can also write a ticket if we feel like, that's what's needed. It's a $300 to $500 fine. It's a misdemeanor. It's not a points violation. We don't want to have to write somebody a ticket like that if we don't have to.
Troopers say they do everything they can, from positioning their cars to working alone. But nothing erases the danger. And too many drivers just don't know they don't have to stop right away.
You're on a 4-lane road, and there's parking lots to your right and to your left. Pull over in a parking lot. That gets you out of the roadway, gets us out of the roadway.
Troopers now sharing those lessons with teens, hoping parents will drive home the move over law before another family gets a call no one wants to answer. In Aiken County, I'm Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cavendish, WJBF News Channel 6.
And it's time now for a first look at our weather with Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Trotty and another beautiful day.
Yeah, it looks great out there, Dee. You can see here on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam that we just have a few high-level clouds, but overall it was a nice sunny day once again. This is a view of Swainsboro, and for our almanac in Augusta, we started out at 55 degrees this morning. Our average low is 67. We were nowhere near it, and our high today was 5 degrees below average, 84. Notice the record of 100 set back in 1925, which just goes to show that it's still summertime, and this is typically where we're at this time of the year, upper 80s to low 90s, and 100 usually isn't even out of the question. And you can see here around the CSRA that we're only making it to the low 80s today or this evening in a lot of places, and many spots are now dipping into the upper 70s, like Aiken at 78, 79 in Crawfordville and Gibson. The relative humidity is nice and low, around 40%. We still have this north wind bringing in that dry air. High pressure is in control. You can see winds only up to around 7 miles per hour. And for the rest of your Wednesday evening, we'll get to the 70-degree mark by 9 p.m., quickly falling into the mid-60s. And when you're headed out the door tomorrow morning, upper 50s will be back. Low temperatures eventually getting to 60, and high temperatures will be right at 87 over the next few days. I'll have more details on the forecast and a look at when we could see some summertime heat again coming up. And back to you, Dee.
All right, thanks so much. We'll see you then. The project that would bring tiny homes to Aiken has suffered a setback. In a narrow 4-3 vote, Aiken City Council members rejecting an ordinance to bring tiny homes to a plot of land on Dykes Road. The project would bring a tiny home village to the 4-acre property, featuring 39 tiny homes, picnic areas, and a community building. While city council members were divided on the project, city leaders say the conversation is not over.
There's no one silver bullet. So certainly I believe it could be part of a solution, but I think just getting broad community consensus on an issue such as homelessness or the unsheltered is going to be where it needs to go.
Aiken County Homeless Housing says they're planning to meet within the next few days to discuss next steps and a possible new plan. A terrifying false alarm at the University of South Carolina is now linked to Broad Street business owners saying, where is the plan for parking? After businesses complained, commissioners directed engineers to work to restore parking lost from the road project. But after months, downtown businesses say they still haven't heard anything, and a planned update scheduled for Tuesday's engineering committee was canceled.
We were supposed to have seen some revised plans, gosh, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, and they keep kicking the can down the road. So yeah, I'd say we're all pretty frustrated down here. I mean, we know that this needs to happen, and we're looking forward to it being done, but there's a right way and a wrong way to go about doing things.
City leaders say new plans will be presented to commissioners at their meeting next week and say those plans will add parking spots. Well, the Salvation Army of Augusta and Southbound Smokehouse are partnering to support Center of Hope Soup Kitchen, and they are asking for shelf-stable items to give to the people and community at this Center of Hope. Salvation Army of Augusta is averaging around 150 meals every day, which is over 45,000 home-cooked meals this year. And we spoke with an official at the Salvation Army who says they would not be able to help people in this way without the community around them.
We're really grateful to folks who do donate not only their goods, but also their money and their time. It's a great way to give back to, people who are struggling and in need.
You can drop off food items either at Southbound Smokehouse in North Augusta or at the Salvation Army of Augusta on Green Street. Well, coming up, world leaders are condemning Russia's latest and massive attack on Ukraine, which spilled over into Poland. Details when coverage you can count on continues.
Happy Hump Day, Georgia. I'm John.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live 5-6.
Welcome back. We have a beautiful sunset once again as we take a look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam at the sun beating down on the American flag this evening. A north wind at 6 miles per hour. It's 80 degrees, feeling like 81. Dew points are low, so it's another day of lower humidity, feeling more so like early October than early September. And you can see those current temperatures now falling in our northwestern counties. 75 in Washington and Sparta, 79 in Sandersville. Low 80s for the most part, though, tonight. And you can see clear skies for the most part as well. Just a few fair weather clouds, especially in our southeastern counties. But high pressure is in control. Down towards the south, we still have this area of low pressure in the Gulf along a stationary front, bringing scattered showers and storms to the Sunshine State. But for us, it's pretty much a repeat forecast again tomorrow, starting out chilly in the upper 50s with calm winds. We'll have that northeast breeze still, but it will start to warm up tomorrow. We're going with a high of 87 over the next 3 days to come. And then we'll start to feel that summertime heat again early next week. 93 on Monday, 91 on Tuesday. But then notice we quickly fall back into the upper 80s. So think back to how it was the last Friday and Saturday where we had that brief round of low to mid 90s. That's kind of what we're seeing early next week. Now those low temperatures will also start to warm up to 65, but still staying below our average of 67. It's been below average pretty much all month long so far, with the exception of Sunday. We had a low of 69, but 59 back on the 2nd, and then again yesterday, and then we even got down to 55 degrees this morning. Now, it's also been a mostly dry month so far. We only had 1 day of measurable rain, and that was on Saturday. You can see here, not everyone in the rain, though. There were some dry spots, especially down in Screven and Allendale counties. However, other places, like just to the west of Augusta Regional Airport, actually picked up on around an inch and a half to 2.5 inches of rain. A heavy shower developed there, but where our airport sensor is, that's why we only picked up around 1/10 of an inch. Now you can see on our future cast tonight at 8 o'clock, skies will stay clear. We'll have a few clouds passing by at times, but definitely not expecting any rain nearby. That front continues to bring the shower chances to Florida, though, and we're just pretty much stuck in the same routine weather pattern even into early next week. Now, we're also watching the tropics very closely since today is the peak of hurricane season. It's September 10th, and just in time for that, we have a wave off the coast of Africa that's expected to emerge. Just a 20% chance of development as of now, and we'll keep an eye on it. But no worries as of now. The CSRA is looking good. Very quiet weather with upper 50s tonight. Highs tomorrow will be in the upper 80s. Now, your 10-day forecast is showing sunshine continuing into the weekend, going from 89 on Sunday to 93 on Monday. Once again, those lows will be going back into the middle 60s, and then we'll see a slight chance of rain the following weekend. But even that chance not looking super promising.
It was just such a lovely day.
Yeah.
We loved it. Thanks so
beautiful.
much. Well, still ahead, conservative political activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed today in an event in Utah. The latest when coverage you can count on continues.
We're putting our foot down to keep our...
I'm attorney Latasha Barnes from the Barnes Law Office right here in Augusta, Georgia. If you've been injured, call me first. We are all people firm. We are women who win.
Call us today or visit us at thebarneslawoffice.com.
Hop in, let's drive, baby. 706-722-3521. Get ready for wine tasting, designer boutiques, and a dazzling fashion show at Wine, Women, and Shoes. Thursday, September 18th at 6 p.m. All proceeds to benefit Ronald McDonald House of Augusta. Buy your tickets now at WJBF.com/WWS.
When it comes to America's top 3 cities, the order typically ranks New York City, Los Angeles, and Chicago, but a debate online has sparked a discussion about what city comes in 4th place. People from Washington, D.C. claim they deserve it for being the nation's capital. People in San Francisco say they have Silicon Valley. Well, Georgians believe it is Atlanta for being home to the world's busiest airport.
And I always view it as Houston because that's where I'm from. But I can see Atlanta.
Yeah, I could see Atlanta because everybody seems to come to Atlanta for something.
Yeah, it's interesting how it's like the top 3 are so solidified, and then the 4th, and I guess the 5th and 6th, all the way up to 10th place, it's kind of up in the air.
And I could see it based off of population. So I'm surprised they didn't do it just off of population alone, because San Francisco is up there. I don't know if it's, I think it might be larger than Atlanta. I'm not sure, but
yeah. Well, our 10-day forecast is showing some really nice weather, no doubt about that. Upper 80s for the rest of this week, then low 90s early next week, then falling back into the upper 80s with not a lot of rain.
All right, I love it. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll have more news beginning at 10. Have a good night.